I like to test out products like this one in real life and let you know whether or not they're a good value, whether or not I think they're a good value, and to give you the option. So I like to just try these out, and I've been trying this one out for a few weeks now. It's a Sovmiku camera. May not be a brand that you know the name of, but I want you to look at its features and its quality and see if the price is going to be right for you. One of the highlights of this smart security camera is that it will identify vehicles and tell you which ones are there, if it's yours or not, or if it's something you know about. Let's take a look at this Sovmiku camera. So you're actually looking at this video from the Sovmiku camera, and the audio I'm probably going to have to put through my computer here, but I think you're going to get the picture. I'm about 20 feet away, and the clarity of this camera is good. Its detection is pretty sensitive. I've got it set to a pretty high setting on its sensitivity, and it hasn't been picking up small animals or anything, but certainly getting every person or vehicle that goes by. As already mentioned, it's great at detecting vehicles and telling you if it's a strange vehicle or if it's just your own. You can set the notifications so you don't even have to know every time one of your own vehicles pulls into your driveway or parks in front of your house or whatever. So some of the things you're going to look for in a security camera. Two things that I want in a good security camera. I want clear images and video so I can actually tell what it is that I'm looking at. And I want good notifications, because I'm not going to sit down like a security guard and analyze all the video of all my cameras everywhere all the time. I need a quick notification to tell me if there's something I need to know about, if there's a person I don't know in my driveway, or a car I don't know, or of course someone sneaking around in the middle of the night. Let's look at the specifics of this camera here and note what you get for the price. I think if you're looking for a solid smart camera that's going to perform on Wi-Fi and give you the things that you need outside, then certainly consider this one and compare it to some of the name brands or some of the other brands that you may not have heard of, and evaluate, is this going to be the right camera, the right fit for what I need with a smart home in my outdoor space. As we move to what's in the box here, you just see that you get a solid camera, you get a solar panel, you get all the connection devices, and you're going to get a USB cable to charge it in the house. So you want to charge it up before you install it outdoors, and this will get its battery up to 100%. Essentially, there are two things that have to be installed to make this work. First is this little plate adapter that's going to hold the camera. I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to install the little bracket for the solar panel on the side, because this is a shaded spot. So I'm going to put it where it can get a little bit of sun, and then it's got a cord that's going to connect to the camera. So the solar panel does not fully power this camera, if it's my understanding. The camera has a rechargeable battery, and right now I'm charging it up for the first time to get it fully charged, and then the solar panel will continue to charge that battery as the camera runs on a daily basis. So it may come down a little bit at night, but then when the sun is out during the day, or even if it's cloudy, I think it's going to get enough power to keep that battery charged almost all the time. I do not foresee a time when you have to bring this camera in to charge it. Here comes a little bit of hardware, some screws here, and these screws actually have some mounting devices in case you're using them in something like a drywall. But this is wood out here, and I'll just be going into the wood directly. You might have to pre-drill holes for this, depending on how well these screws go in. So I'm just going to try to put them in without pre-drilling and see how that goes. And if it doesn't work, we'll get the drill out and put some holes in the wood. So again, this is the bracket where the camera will mount. Now I'm going to put the bracket that's going to hold the solar panel. I'm going to put it on the side here of my garage. It does help to have one of these extended bit extenders on your power screwdriver in this case, because it would be really hard for me to get in here at the right angle with this without a piece like this. So you can find these at your local hardware store. Usually in the drill bit section, you'll find a pack of these, maybe 2 or 3 different sizes that will fit in and adapt to all your screwdriver bits. So these solar panels are pretty amazing, just how small they are and how simple, and yet it's going to get enough power to keep this camera charged up. So I'm going to go ahead and install it here, and then we'll connect it soon. So this is not the first camera that I've installed by Sovmiku. So I already trust their solar panels. The one that I've already used kept the battery, the charge really well, even though the weather was bad while it was up. So I'm installing this. It's pretty nice weather today, actually, for a January day. Sun's out, and it's going to be 50 degrees, but the other one I installed, and then we had a snowstorm and ice storm right after I installed it, and it continued to work just fine. Kept the camera charged up really well. So I'm going to let this cable down. You can see this cable's got a lot of length. You can install this 4 or 5 feet away from the actual camera and still be able to connect it. It's a USB-C connector, which is what it charges with. And so before I put the camera on here, I'm going to plug this into the back and then snap it in here. So now the camera is charged. You'll note the camera has 2 places for plugs, or it has 2 of these caps. So one has an SD card slot and a power button, and you want that one, you want it to be closed and secure. The other you can open to charge it. So let's make sure this is in focus. But when you're outside, you only want the little flap to be open. So this is where I'm going to put the charging cable. So see, I only want enough open to get my USB-C in there to charge it. I want it to look like that, so no weather, no moisture gets in there. So here I'm going to plug it in. Make sure it's in there snug. And then this is a really easy plate to fit on. And you're good. I'm going to wrap up my extra cable here so it's not hanging down, get caught on something, or looking bad. So as with any smart device, you're going to use an app with this one. It's going to connect directly to your smartphone. You don't need a hub or anything in the middle to connect these. The app is going to be where you set the camera up initially. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to show a code that you're going to scan with the camera and it will connect. And then the app is going to have the live feed from your security camera. It's going to have the other setup options as you see. And the app is going to provide you with all the tools that you need to use the camera effectively. So here I have my history and it's showing the um, different events which have occurred. You can select the day, you can look back. The app is also going to be what sends you the notifications in terms of what's happening. And this has been good. The notifications have been very accurate and helpful. I think enough information is given with these to know what's going on and to keep up with the area that the camera is tracking. So here you see a wealth of these which have come in. I did set my sensitivity on high here with the app, and so I wanted to test it out just in terms of everything that's going to pick up while it is recording. So you can change the sensitivity level. If it is getting too many things, then you will want to turn it to a medium or a low setting so you're not getting too many things going on. So you can adjust a few other things in the app and set it to even set up an alarm. It has a spotlight which can come on and an alarm in case you want that feature for your camera in terms of scaring a person off or maybe an animal even. So there are several different things you can use here with the app to tailor the camera to your needs and to make it work effectively for you. The app is going to be free from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on which phone you use. And I think I'm using the Apple iPhone, but I think the app's going to work pretty much the same way with either version of a phone. So what you see here is just the ability to toggle on and off several different things with the app to use the camera as best as you would like to. One thing, you do have to have a subscription to get the best features with this app. And so I would like to see more available in terms of what you can do without the subscription, but the subscription comes with a free trial. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out for a while without committing to a payment with that. So I'm going to let you see some images and video that the camera captured. And then I'm going to be quiet just a second so you can listen to the audio it picks up. So I think the audio is adequate for the camera. It's probably not going to give you the kind of detail that you would get with other things here, but I think that the images are really clear and you're going to be able to tell quite a bit about anything that's capturing in terms of faces, um, maybe even license plates from a distance, car makes, and other things that you need to know with a security camera. So you can also set up a detection zone as you see here. You can move the box around to capture whatever area you want to, and this is where motion will be detected. This way you can decide if you don't want areas or if you do want areas. You can set up more than one of these zones to include or block out certain areas for motion detection. So as we wrap up, I appreciate